And we're back with another Project Supernova video. This time, I was working on replacing my proportioning valve, which is actually this guy here. It's mounted in the vehicle like that, along your firewall, right where those two holes are. Now, normally, a proportioning valve will have a little pin in it, or some kind of button that you can push to reset it. Because what this does is if you get a leak, like I did, I had a leak in both my rear wheel cylinders, and it'll actually have something that'll shut the flow off to either the front or the back wheels, depending on where your leak is. And this one, you can't reset once it trips. So, I had to replace it. And instead of going to a junkyard and trying to find one, a couple days spending online trying to find one, you can find ones, I think, for the dual overhead cam engine, because the difference in your proportioning valves are disc and drum or four-wheel disc. Basically any proportioning valve is the same. Those are the only differences between the two. I ended up buying this guy, remounting it next to the master cylinder. This is actually CPP Performance. I got it for about I think 50 bucks after shipping and everything. I think it was about that. But it's for a standard Chevy application. I think it's most popular for like a Chevy 1500 or something that has disc and drum setup. But any proportioning valve for disc and drum will work on any other disc and drum vehicle. It's just, you gotta figure out how to rerun your lines. I was actually lucky. I could use most of the lines that ran down here. I only needed to put a piece from here to here to reach for the front passenger side brake. But other than that, everything went fairly smooth. You need a flaring tool because you're gonna have to cut some lines. And yeah, all in all, it went fairly smooth. All I gotta do now is bleed my brake system, but like I said, this guy here, you can actually reset it once it trips. That little pin will pop out, and all you gotta do is push it back in and it'll reset your proportioning valve. So this is a lot better option. They have ones that you can buy for about $60 that are actually adjustable. You can adjust the brake pressure to your front or back brakes depending on what you're running. I would advise not getting an adjustable one, because you get that thing adjusted weird and you go out driving, it'll lock up the back brakes on you and you'll spin out of control if you don't know what you're doing. So I would just advise getting a regular proportioning valve for disc and drum. I ended up using the factory splitter. There's a little problem with this thing is it was set up a little bit different than your normal proportioning valve setup. It actually goes from the master cylinder to that splitter, and then it goes from the splitter to the front driver's side wheel. Every other wheel runs through the proportioning valve. Only the front driver's side wheel doesn't run through the proportioning valve. And the problem with that is only one front wheel line comes off of the factory proportioning valve. And aftermarket ones have two front lines and only one back line. The factory one on this car had two rear lines. So I just used the splitter that split the front two lines and used it for the back lines. So it takes a little bit of thinking, a little bit of figuring. Hopefully this video will help some other people out that are running into the same problem. But now, to bleed my brakes. Thanks for watching.